Hey guys, Hybrid Toy Reviews here, taking a look at the Star Wars The Black Series credit collection Bo-Katan. She is, of course, in her Mandalorian appearance, and we know the credit collection line. It's a sort of a gimmicky repaint line, featuring that end credit art from The Mandalorian. It also comes with replica credits from the show. It's a line that not everyone likes, but I personally really love, so I'm really excited to finally be getting this Bo-Katan in the collection. Let's go ahead and get into it and take a look at what we're getting here. You guys know how it goes. As always, we start by taking a look at the packaging. This is your standard credit collection fanfare with a really weathered-looking, vintage-inspired card back going on with big end credit artwork of Bo-Katan flying up there looking awesome. Got the Mandalorian up here, her name, the credit in the bubble up above the character. Looking really good, I gotta say, especially for a credit collection one. Like, it doesn't look hugely different. You got your Kenner logo down there, your warning, choking hazard, all that good stuff. Around back, you got bigger artwork of Bo-Katan flying with some other Mandalorians there. Your Star Wars logo and the wraparound silver bars. You don't get any bio about Bo-Katan, just a brief bio about what the credit collection is. Got a barcode, bunch of legalese, and your Disney and Hasbro logos. So, very standard credit collection fare here. Let's go ahead and open it up, take a look at what we're getting here. So here's Bo-Katan out of the packaging, and as always, let's start by taking a look at her accessories. So before looking at her actual blasters, let's take a look at this credit. So every wave of the credit collection features a unique credit, and this wave I actually believe features 2 credits, which is kind of cool. This one is inspired by some sort of New Republic credit, I'm guessing, based on that Rebellion logo with the word crest around it. Some nice little silver stripes, or like just silver lines sculpted into the 3 corners of a sort of triangular shaped credit chip. Around back, you can get some Star Wars money symbols with more, words and a ring around it. Looks very cool. Since sort of like a very gunmetal-y gray sort of silver color. The closest thing to silver, the other waves we've had have been just straight silver. So the first wave featured this, obviously, Imperial credits, a much brighter silver. But this is what we had in wave 1. On the back side, there was nothing to it. It was just flat. So it's kind of nice that this is double-sided like that. Wave 2 featured these sort of Republic credit-looking ones, except every one had a unique sculpt. They had different arrangements on these tabs in the 3 sections there. So that was kind of cool for that. They were also hollow in the back. They didn't have anything going on behind them. So far as what's going on detail-wise, I do kind of like this wave's credit more, at least this one in particular. But so far they've all been good, and I like how we do have a nice variety of credits at this point. You can actually make a big bag of credits with all your credits, and they just do credit stuff. I don't know. These are one of my favorite parts. I do like these in-universe coins. So now looking at Bo, her accessories are her 2 standard gray Mandalorian blaster pistols, sort of like a nice brown paint on the grip, and a nice gray plastic. Comparing them to the pistols that come with the standard release Bo-Katan, there is basically no difference, except the brown paint on the grip might be a shade darker. So, setting the original pistol aside, she features 2 working hip holsters, and they actually are a very nice, snug fit. They slot in like so, and it just works out rather well, I gotta say. So, I do like how the hip holsters work there. Now, taking a look at Bo, I gotta say, I really like what's going on here. To compare her to the regular version, her armor is just a much darker blue. Now, you do get the random paint overspray around her sides, which is what the credit collection's gimmick is. But, she's a nice darker color. She actually has a nice kind of reddish brown for the belt instead of the light orange, which I guess bothered a lot of people. One thing I really like about this, as I go knocking it over, if you take the helmet off, it is a still very lifelike, accurate, Katie Sackhoff likeness going on underneath. However, she has a much more muted red hair color. It's, not orange. It's still kind of like a reddish brown. It's a little bit more accurate to what was in the show. Whereas on the original regular release, her hair is just straight like carrot orange. Like it's like Clone Wars color versus like live action color. So honestly, The Credit Collection one got the better head sculpt, and I kind of want to pick up a second one just to do a head swap with the regular version of Bo. So it's something to something to note. They actually improved the head sculpt on this one, so I do like that. Putting her helmet back on, you see she has basically the exact same printing on her helmet as the regular version did, except the owl eyes are a little bit larger on the original one. They're smaller here. Looks very good, though. I do like how it turned out. The rangefinder's all black, still functions and turns down. She has her owl shoulder badges, looking good. You get around the sides of her torso, and you got this kind of like yellowy green overspray, and that is the gimmick, because this Bo-Katan is flying and blasting at you, and you see the light of the jetpack in an otherwise dark picture, so they've tried to capture that jetpack light around the side. And honestly, this isn't the most out there, rambunctious Credit Collection paint application we've ever had. I think it's actually probably the most muted, to be honest. If it was toned down just a little bit, I would say put this on the shelf instead of the regular Bo-Katan, because it almost looks better. It's definitely a better fit for a Clone Wars one, except you'd have to do a head swap one with the regular one. So it's kind of weird how this one worked out. But, all in all, I don't know. I mean, because it's not show accurate, but it's also not as crazy as a lot of the Credit Collection stuff is. So I don't really know where I stand on this one. To run through our articulation, it's exactly the same as the regular figure, featuring a double ball on the neck, allowing her, when you actually move the head with the helmet, to look that high up, that far down. She can rotate and give you a lot of attitude with some head pivot. Her arms can come up to a true T-pose. She can 360 at the shoulder, little butterfly joint action in there. Single jointed elbows can go to 90 and then swivel. 360 on the wrist with both of them hinging up and down. She features a mid-torso ball joint, allowing her to crunch only that far forward, pretty far back. You can get some rotation and some pivot in there. Her legs can kick that far out. They can kick that far forward, tiny bit back. Upper thigh rotation. Single jointed knees can go past 90 and then rotate at the knee. No boot cut. Her feet can point straight down and come a little bit forward, and there's a forward-facing pin for rocker, allowing her to get into some pretty decently wide stances with both feet flat on the ground. To do some size comparisons, or just regular comparisons, here she is again next to the regular Bo-Katan. Here she is next to, let's bring in the Gaming Greats Jetpack Stormtrooper and the Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader, because they're all handy. As you see, she is not a 6-foot-tall person in real life, so she is drastically shorter than the Trooper and, of course, Vader, who towers over everyone. So she fits in rather decently well with the scale. So, end of the day, what do I think of this Credit Collection Bo-Katan? Honestly, I like it. It's not my most favorite Credit Collection figure. One of my favorite things about the Credit Collection is how it usually matches up rather well, or at least artistically in a way, to the art of the scene. So you usually get a lot of really vibrant color, because that's how they do the concept art for The Mandalorian. So when I look at this art of Bo-Katan, jetting in, yeah, I do kind of want that yellow overspray, but I want it vibrant. I don't want it just a little bit of yellow under the arms. I want, the legs to almost be all yellow. I want it to be blown way out of proportion. I want it to be exaggerated. And it seems like on this one, they muted it. It's not as intense as I would want it to be. And I want it to be more on the front. And I think back to some of the earlier ones where, thinking in particular the Death Trooper or the Heavy Mandalorian or IG-11, where they just splattered it. I want it to look like someone dipped their hand in bright yellow paint and flicked their hand, just dousing the front of the figure with random yellow droplets all over. I want it to look splattered. I want it to have that sort of graffiti vibe almost that those first waves had. Some of the others in this wave have it done down really well looking from the pictures, but Bo-Katan's just really muted, and so it's weird. It almost looks more like a regular line figure than a Credit Collection figure. It's a fun character, and I'm glad to have it. But ultimately, I'm just not super duper crazy on this one. I recommend it, and I'm going to have to pick up another one on card for my carded credit collection. But yeah, ultimately, it just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. It's probably not going to be the best one of this wave. I'm excited to get the rest of the wave, though, and then do some comparisons and, do my standard, wave ranking. And then maybe another video, because I think I did a video at one point comparing Wave 1 and Wave 2, or it might have been my Wave 2 recap where I just said, is it better than Wave 1? I think once this wave is out and I've got it reviewed, I'd like to actually sit down and do a overview of what I think of the entire waves. I think that first wave was really solid, though. So, anyway, I'm going to go. Thanks for watching. It means a lot that you did. If you enjoyed, just leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that end of video stuff. You guys know the drill. I'm going to go work on some video editing, so thanks again, and until next time, may the force be with each and every one of you. Bye!